Hello, my name is Heidi Stone, and I will be talking to you today about the word of wisdom. President Ezra Taft Benson told this story in a conference back in 1983. Several years ago, an investigator gave this testimonial about Joseph Smith. He said that the word of wisdom was the revelation that most attracted him to investigate the church. There is no possible way, he said, that Joseph Smith could have known what we now know in the medical world about the harmful effects of tobacco, alcohol, tea, and coffee. Yet this has all been substantiated by medical science. He said that this was the beginning of his earnest investigation of the gospel, for he reasoned that if Joseph Smith could be so accurate on a matter that medical science validated over 100 years later, the rest of the teachings of the church deserved investigation. He did so and is now a member of the church. President Brigham Young taught that the Lord revealed the word of wisdom to improve the quality of our mortal lives, to make us more effective workers in God's earthly kingdom, and to help us fill the full measure of our creation. Having grown up in the church and having served a full-time mission, I've had plenty of opportunities to teach the word of wisdom and to listen and to be taught about the word of wisdom. And unfortunately, it seems that every time the topic of the word of wisdom comes up, the restrictions are what are focused on. And I think we need to change that and direct our attention to the things that we should be doing and to the blessings that await us by doing the right things. In order to make this change, I think we need to be better informed ourselves of what the word of wisdom is about, and also so that we can benefit others by informing them. And in order to do this, I believe we need to focus on three main areas. That would be that the word of wisdom is a commandment from God, the word of wisdom is an inspired health code, and observing the word of wisdom can help us better fill our life's purpose. To begin, the first area of focus will be believing that the word of wisdom is a commandment from God. This was a revelation given to Joseph Smith back in 1833. And when it was given, it was originally given as just counsel and not as a commandment. And you can read that in Doctrine and Covenants 89, verse 2. It wasn't until 1851 that President Brigham Young got up in a conference and asked the saints to formally covenant to obey the word of wisdom and abstain from partaking of coffee, tea, and tobacco. Unfortunately for some, they still don't view the word of wisdom as a commandment and more like just a suggestion. The example I have for this is when I served my mission, there was a member, and one day in talking with her, she told me that her doctor had told her that she needed to drink 1 glass of wine every day in order to promote good health. And she said, I know the Lord will understand why I needed to do this because my doctor told me. Here I could see for her that the word of wisdom was not a commandment in her eyes. President Gordon B. Hinckley said, some people argue over whether the word of wisdom is a commandment. I do not need to argue. As far as I am concerned, whether it is a commandment or counsel, that which the Lord counsels becomes a commandment to Gordon B. Hinckley, and I hope it does to you. Secondly, the word of wisdom is an inspired health code. We are blessed to live in an age that has proven that the teachings revealed in the word of wisdom are indeed beneficial for prolonging our lives. The Lord revealed this about the way we should eat in Doctrine and Covenants 89, verses 11 and 16. Every herb in the season thereof, and every fruit in the season thereof. All grain is good for the food of man. Today, the medical world has proven that eating a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and grains may reduce the risk for stroke and other cardiovascular diseases and type 2 diabetes. It can also protect against certain cancers and reduce the risk of coronary heart disease. It may help with weight management and help reduce blood cholesterol levels. You can also read the benefits of eating meats and other things that we've been commanded in the word of wisdom. Over 170 years ago, Brigham Young said that Americans as a nation are killing themselves with their vices and high living. As much as a man ought to eat in half an hour, they swallow in 3 minutes, gulping their food like the canine quadruped under the table. Today we have learned that eating too many calories on a consistent basis puts a serious strain on our body. The more calories we take in, the higher our risk for becoming overweight or obese and developing disease. Besides Doctrine and Covenants 89, there are other scriptures that give us health advice and how we should live. The following are in comment or in reference to our sleep. In Doctrine and Covenants 88, 124, the Lord tells us, "Retire to thy bed early, that ye may not be weary. Arise early, that your bodies and your minds may be invigorated." King Benjamin, back in 124 BC, said, "For it is not requisite that a man should run faster than he has strength." Today, our scientists have given the top 10 health benefits for getting a good night's sleep. And they are that they can keep your heart healthy, that they may prevent cancer, reduce stress, reduce inflammation, make you more alert, bolster your memory, help you lose weight. Naps will actually make you smarter. I like that. May reduce your risk for depression and helps the body make repairs. Thirdly, observing the word of wisdom can help us better fill our life's purpose. We are here on this earth to do the Lord's work. That is our purpose. And we cannot do this work unless we have taken care of the physical bodies that have been given us. President Brigham Young said, "Be careful of your bodies. Be prudent in laying out your energies. For when you are old, you will need the strength and power you are now wasting. Preserve your lives. Until you know and practice this, you are not thoroughly good soldiers nor wise stewards." Taking care of our physical bodies allows us to have the Holy Spirit with us. Bruce R. McConkie said, "Through cleanliness resulting from keeping this law of health and by walking in obedience to the commandments, the saints will qualify for the companionship of the Holy Spirit, with great spiritual endowments coming as a result thereof." In conclusion, I would like for each of us to evaluate how we view the word of wisdom. When you talk to others about it, do you speak of it as a blessing or as a burden? Remember that the word of wisdom is a commandment from God, and that it is an inspired health code, and that by observing it, you can better fulfill your life's purpose. I'll close by this quote by Brigham Young. "Prepare to die is not the exhortation in this church and kingdom, but prepare to live is the word with us, and improve all we can in the life hereafter, wherein we may enjoy a more exalted condition of intelligence, wisdom, light, knowledge, power, glory, and exaltation. Then let us seek to extend the present life to the uttermost by observing every law of health and by properly balancing labor, study, rest, and recreation, and thus prepare for a better life. Let us teach these principles to our children, that in the morning of their days they may be taught to lay the foundation of health and strength and constitution and power of life in their bodies." Thank you.